Welcome once again then as you join us in the final moments before practice gets underway here at Monza.
What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to a brand new video here today for another episode of F1 2019 Career Mode here today for the Italian Grand Prix. Coming into this, I was fairly confident of a really good result. Italy, it's one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. I've always liked this place. It's a really nice track to drive. It's probably going to be a bit of a slipstream train as well. That does seem to be a common trait around this racetrack, so it'd be interesting to see how that pans out in the race later on. But practice, we got through all of the practice programs with some hiccups along the way, not going to lie. As you can see a couple of those on screen. We're really struggling with turn 1, not going to lie, just always kept messing up my braking. I was either braking too late or just too early. Eventually I nailed down where I needed to be on the brakes, but anyway, but we finished practice 1 on top. We were the only one on these soft compound tyres, mind you, so that's probably not a true representation of where we stand in this field, but research and development wise, front downforce upgrade failed, so we had to fix that, and that is exactly what we've just done. So hopefully that can go on the cart for the next episode, which I believe is the Singapore Grand Prix. So hopefully that should help us out a bit there. We'll try to purchase a rear downforce upgrade if we can as well by the end of this episode. Obviously depending on if we've got enough resource points to do so, but I think that's basically everything that happened, so let's get the show on the road and go jump into qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix. Let's go.
Practice is all wrapped up as we move into qualifying here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Any moment now, the teams will be heading out onto the track. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that. And even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race. So I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
I agree, Anthony Davidson. I think we'd all want to be on the fastest tyres for our qualifying lap. So welcome guys to qualifying for the Italian Grand Prix. We're going out straight away at the start of the session. Sergio Perez goes top on an 18.5. We come across the line to back him up in P2, so looking good, and we skipped to the end of the session. We just did that one run. That was enough. We actually stayed 1-2 as well, so Racing Point provisionally pole and second, so that's pretty damn cool. We could be on for a really good weekend here, both of us, myself and Checo, so hopefully we can keep this momentum going. Cutting on to Q2, we decided to go out right at the end of the session this time, and once again Perez goes to the top in P1. Let's see if we can back him up this time once again, or even knock him off across the line. Where do we go? It's P2 again. So once again we're not quite able to overhaul our teammate, but for the second time Racing Point is P1 and P2, so this is looking really good for maybe a front row lockout for the Racing Point team. And how awesome would this be? We're still technically kind of a best of the rest team, or at least that's how I feel. So this will be something special if we can pull this off. But we'll cut on to Q3 now, and here we are. Perez is on provisional pole at the moment, so it's down to us really as to whether we can back him up and get this done. We've got someone right behind us as well. Lewis Hamilton goes provisional pole position and takes away the hopes and dreams of all the Mexican fans and ourselves as well. But coming around the final corner now, it's not going to be a Racing Point 1-2, but can we at least park this car on the front row across the line? What is it going to be?
Nice job.
No, we just fall short. P3. That's still a really good result. That's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Perez ends up down in P7, so the top teams really pulled the rabbit out of the hat there in the final part of qualifying. So no front row lockout for this team. We're not quite there yet. We've won the rivalry against Sergio Perez as well. We're not too far off doing that against Evan Butler as well, so that should be a nice chunk of resource points. But P3 for us, P7 for Checo, so you know what, it's a pretty good result still. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going, maybe get a double top 5. That might be a bit optimistic. I feel like that is possible if Perez can get a good start and have some solid race pace. It is worth noting, as I'm about to show you, that it's full wet for the race, for the entirety as well, so this is going to spice things up and make it very, very interesting. So let's see how we go.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
There's confirmation on your screen for that race. So let's go to the Italian Grand Prix. Let's get into it.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Raikkonen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. With the rain coming down here at the 3.6-mile Monza circuit, the low drag setups preferred by most teams could cause them some problems in today's Grand Prix. So watch out for cars struggling for grip around Parabolica, the last and most demanding of this track's 11 corners. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Lee completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Perez, Bottas, Gasly, Raikkonen and Lucas Faber, Ricciardo, Norris, Romain Grosjean and Russell, Magnussen, Kvyat, Devon Butler and Alexander Albon, Stroll and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Great starting position for us. Let's see if we can improve on that in the race.
Alright, we will try and do that, boss. Welcome, guys, to the grid of the Italian Grand Prix. Now, grid penalties have come into this. Valtteri Bottas demoted from P2 down to, I think it was P7, so we are now on the front row of the grid alongside Lewis Hamilton. So this will be really interesting. Hopefully we can get a good start and not bottle this opportunity for a potential race win. Oh my goodness, we're in the wall. What the actual was that? Oh my goodness, okay, I've never done anything quite like that before. I was actually checking the front wing there to make sure that I didn't have damage, because I was kind of panicking when that happened. I thought, oh my god, don't tell me I've ruined my race before it's even started. But we got away with one there, thankfully. You can't get damage on the formation lap, I think, so we're all good. We can forget about that, so just pretend nothing happened. Just don't watch that bit again, and then, yeah, we'll all be good. But anyway, coming back to reform on the grid now. Now, it is worth noting, while it said it's full wet, we are all on the intermediate tyres, so this is going to be quite interesting to see how this all works. But starting P2 alongside Hamilton, hopefully we can get a good start, come away with maybe another podium.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
We are primed and ready, boss. Let's go get this show on the road. Welcome, guys, to the grid. Awaiting 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. And away we go. Held the lights for a while there. Looks like a good initial launch compared to Hamilton, but then we've bogged down a little bit. We've gone absolutely nowhere. Vettel trying to overtake Hamilton. We're getting mugged down into turn 1. Everybody goes past us. I backed out of that. Warning for a collision with Charles Leclerc. Bottas trying to go around there outside. Perez has jumped us as well. We've gone absolutely backwards, and from P2 we're down into P6. I don't know what happened. We just went nowhere from about second gear onwards. The initial launch was great, but we just went nowhere afterwards. We're going to try and fight back on Perez, are we? No, back out of it. Perez maintains P5. We're in P6. Get a good run out of the chicane. We're going to try go up the inside of the Mexican. Squeezes us a little bit to the inside, but we should get the move done, and we do. That's back up into P5, so already trying to make up some of that ground that we lost. But that was nearly 4 wide on the run down into turn 1, and I did not want to be a part of that. I backed out straight away, but we just got absolutely mugged off the line. Let's jump on board for some replays now. Let's jump on board with Charles Leclerc. And he actually was a bit late on the launch there, so he might have been asleep at the lights. But as you can see, we just go nowhere from like third gear onwards. And we're going side by side now, and Leclerc's all sideways, a little bit out of control almost. Makes contact with the Red Bull of, I'm pretty sure that's Max Verstappen. Vettel and Hamilton going side by side for the lead. That was just pure bedlam and mayhem down into turn 1. Let's jump on board with our teammate who's right behind Charles Leclerc and get a better view of this. Leclerc goes to our inside. Perez splits the gap, goes clean up the middle, or tries to. Leclerc just closes the door right in his face. But man, what a start that was. That could have gone so wrong for about 5 drivers. Luckily we all get away unscathed, I think. But man, that could have really ended badly for nearly all of us. But we all managed to survive. Cutting off the lap 2, we're trying to get around Max Verstappen for P4. A little bit of contact into the chicane, but we get the move done around the outside. That's back up into P4. Next up is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, obviously the winner of the real Italian Grand Prix. Doesn't seem to be having as much luck at the moment, and I believe there is a retirement that's about to ensue. Romain Grosjean in the Haas. Looks like he's pulling over and he's slowing down, and it is. So it looks like the Frenchman's day is done. Coming in, almost gets collected by Toro Rosso and the McLaren. Then that would have looked very, very bad if that had happened. And my apologies, I think that's actually Kevin Magnussen, so I got that a bit wrong there. So K-Mag is out of the Italian Grand Prix. Cutting on to lap 4. Charles Leclerc having a go at Sebastian Vettel, so the teammates going at it here at their home Grand Prix. Vettel not wanting to give up P2, but in the end having to. We get a better run than both of them, and we're going to just drive clean past them with the horsepower advantage. And in the span of one straight, we've gone from 4th up to 2nd. We weren't even in rich and overtake, we just did that in standard, and we've just blast past 2 Ferraris. So we're back up into P2, right where we started. Going on to the start of lap 6, fastest lap in the race as well. So we've got some solid pace, it looks like. Coming on to lap 8, we've caught Hamilton. We're going to try go down, or we're going to... Oh, okay, start again. We were going to try go around the outside, that didn't work. We're going to try and out-traction him on the exit of this first chicane. We're there, we're alongside. Can we get this move done now? We're going to have the inside for this next chicane. Side by side now. We should get this move done. We're going to get it done before the chicane, and there we go. Then we're just going to make sure we get it stopped, and we do. So there we go. We are into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. What a move. Cutting on to lap 14 now. Hamilton, I think he stopped last lap or the lap before. So now we're coming in for another set, or our first brand new set of intermediate tyres. I'm sorry guys, English is all over the place today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the fact that I haven't long woken up, but anyway. But yeah, into the pits now. Hopefully we have a good stop from the boys. 2.1 seconds. Good stop from the team. Leclerc and Bottas, I think, both in behind us as well. So I think that's a battle for P3, P4. Coming out of the pits now, and you can see Hamilton, he's coming down the front straight. You can see him on the mini-map. Looks like we are just going to maintain the lead. Perez in the pits as well. Don't know where he is exactly position-wise right now, but we maintain the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Hamilton tried a little bit of an undercut, did not work. Cutting on to lap 16 now, and we've made a mistake. We caught the grass coming into turn 1 there, so we've given up a lot of time. Hamilton just like that, with one mistake, he's nearly right back onto the back of us. So that Mercedes with real good pace in this second stint, onto lap 19. And as a matter of fact, he's caught right up to us, trying to go round the outside now at the end of the back straight, trying to make the move, but we just squeezed him out. That was so close to making contact, could have chipped off his front wing there. Let's have a quick replay. Let's go on board with Hamilton. Hard on the brakes. He was actually later on the brakes than what we were, but we just drifted to the outside of the racetrack and didn't really leave him anywhere to go. So I'm trying to make this car as wide as I can. Getting on to lap 23, we set a fastest lap of the race, and luckily for us, I don't know if Hamilton, whether his tyres just died off or something, but he, all of a sudden his pace just really went away. We were able to build a little bit of a gap, and we just kept it at about 2 seconds, and looks like we're going to win the Italian Grand Prix round Parabolica for the final time. The weather gods have thrown a lot at us today. We had to battle, fight, scratch and claw our way to P1, but we're going to come across the line to win the Italian Grand Prix. Get in there, boys.
Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
And an incredible win for Racing Point. A brilliant performance. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
Racing Point's performance today has shown that they can be competitive with the veterans of the sport. They're making their way out to the podium now as we speak, and the reaction from the crowd must be incredibly uplifting for them.
So there we go, guys. That has been today's video. The Italian Grand Prix. What a race. Once again, we've really pulled a result out of the hat that we really shouldn't have gotten. Perez only manages P10, unfortunately, for the Mexican, so only brings home one solitary point from his side, but who cares about that? We've gone and won the Italian Grand Prix, and man, what a result.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it?
No, I don't think it does. This is probably going to be the best win we're ever going to have. We really had to work for this one, so really happy.
What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend?
I don't think anything in particular did, really. The car just likes this racetrack, and we were able to make the most of it, so yeah.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
If you're referring to the one at the start, well, I'm going to put blame on Leclerc for that, because he did kind of come across us a little bit, but yeah, anyway.
Do you think your rival learned from his battle with you?
I think we both constantly learn from each other, to be honest. I mean, he outdoes me in qualifying. We seemed to outdo him in the race, so it's good.
Appreciate your time.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire. So there we go, guys. That has been today's video. Career mode for the Italian Grand Prix. We have won the rivalry against both our teammate and our arch nemesis, the man that you literally want to smack in the face, Mr. Devon Butler. So we've beaten him, we've beaten Perez. We just won the Italian Grand Prix, so I don't think there's much more that we could have done to make this a perfect episode, to be honest. We failed the team goal, a bit unfortunate there, but you know what, in the grand scheme of things, who the hell cares? We've just won at Monza.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, Emma. So there we go, guys. That has been, that's everything for today, I think. So yeah, this has been episode number 15, I think this is. I think that's about right. Is it? Yeah, I think so. I think this is episode 15. That sounds about right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, that's, you know what? That's it from me today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash that like button, subscribe so you can stay tuned for plenty more. And until my next video, I'll see all you guys next time. Peace out.